Welcome back to the Jacksonville History Show's final segment. I'm Emily Rutherford-Liska, Executive Director of the Jacksonville Historical Society, and I'm here with the Society's President, Jerry Spinks. And in this final segment, we'd like to talk to you about some historic preservation success stories and some not so successful endangered structures in Jacksonville as well. So Jerry, to get it started, let's talk the good news first.
Good news first.
Let's talk about the success stories in Jacksonville, Florida. And particularly right now, we have a number of them, but I think one we want to talk about is the good old YMCA building.
It sounds like a good name of a song or something, but
Well,
Jacksonville's 1908 YMCA building is a real success story. The city will be moving its offices in there. The Police and Fire Pension Fund will show it. Excuse me, the Police and Fire Pension Fund has finished the restoration, and the city will have their administrative offices right next door. It's a prime example of finding a use that did lead to the preservation.
And when you say next door, this is literally across Laura Street from City Hall at St. James, the former Cohen Brothers department store, as all us history wags would know. And this is a marvelous addition to the downtown government complex. And it's a Prairie School masterpiece. This was one of Henry Clutho's early ventures into Prairie School style architecture and predates the St. James building by about 5 years. So quite a feat. I think what always intrigues people when they think about this, the Y, is the fact that at one time it had the running track suspended at about the second-story level and a swimming pool. So a very exciting building. We would later know it as being the home of a furniture store in my
Youth.
middlehood. I started to say youth, but it was later on. So
All
that's
right.
a great building to show.
Okay, our next success story is a La Villa structure that served the city, the African American community, both quite well and almost didn't survive. Old Brewster's Hospital. The original portion was built in 1895. The building was moved about 6 years ago now and has been completely restored and is literally a building looking for a good use to serve its community.
It is now that the restoration is complete, and it is a beautiful job. The issue now becomes it's got to find a good use, or that problem of deterioration, vandalism can potentially occur. So it would be so exciting to find a great use for this. It's located on which through street, Jerry? Do you recall, or cross street? Oh, I know it. I'm blanking too. But just west of the center of downtown.
Right. Well, one of the real nice features of this is it was a very difficult issue for both preservation and probably a little bureaucratic things because it had so much state preservation money in it. But the city is to be congratulated for sticking with it. When it all came down to it, we got a good contractor on it, and the building now is ready to take its place and be used in that perimeter to remind us.
Mitch McDaniel, as I recall,
He did do that.
And beautiful job. And now let's go to
a couple of quick things so we can. Bisbee Baldwin, which you see right there, is
or the Bisbee building.
Bisbee building, thank you, is part of the Laura Street Trio Plus One. And the next picture will show that building in conjunction with the Marble Bank building, the Florida Life building, and in the shadows to the left, the Barnett Bank building.
All highly endangered right now.
And the endanger is uncertain development and being left in more or less the lurch by a developer who no longer is in Jacksonville. But the buildings are open to the elements, and their saving grace is not only their style, but their extraordinarily great construction methods. They were overbuilt for the time, and we hope they have a better future.
Well, the Bisbee building to the far right in that image was the first, of course, skyscraper in Jacksonville. Now that's 10 stories high, and it was only 26 feet wide when it was originally built. What you're looking at there is roughly 54 feet wide. The building was so popular from the moment of construction that they went back and doubled the size immediately because it was all rented up. And this building dates to roughly about, what, 1907, 1908?
Right, I believe so.
And a great building, just open to the elements at so many positions. Any more comments about our buildings, Jerry?
Well, we have the very last one,
Okay,
which I'll briefly
quickly.
give you to. Annie Lytle School, literally in the shadow of the 1095 Exchange, now is in the hands of a developer, and they working with the trust that are its owner, and it will be, if the market is kind, become housing, together with a 4-story addition on the back of the building. So it's a rocky past, but a hopeful future.
Jerry, thank you for bringing us these updates. I want to thank everybody for watching. I'm Emily Liska with Jerry Spinks, and that's all for now for the Jacksonville History Show. Join us next time or look at us on www.jackshistory.com.